There we go. Sorry, I had it muted. What's up, guys? Good morning. Good morning. Hope everyone is doing well. Today, it is a beautiful Friday, April 3rd. I'm drinking my coffee. Hope everyone is doing well this morning. What's up, MP? What's up, Terry? Good morning, guys. Hope y'all are doing well today. Like I said, it's a beautiful day in the market, like it always is, you know. We can take a look at the actual market here, guys, and see that this is the S&P 500 right now. This is the SPY, the little mini S&P. We're still down today. Looks like we had a nice little boost yesterday before the close, but we're still technically down. The market closed at 251.83, and we're at 250.11 right now. What's up, Emmanuel? That's right, man. Look, I got these cool beginner trading mugs. Look, it's a VWAP fade. You can't really see it, but look. Check it out. Ready? Watch this. It's a VWAP fade. It's a VWAP fade. You know. There we go. So yeah, I got a VWAP fade bug today. Maybe I'll trade some VWAP fades. You know, maybe. Oh man. You know, like, I bought a bunch of these mugs with the plan on selling them as merchandise, and then I just never got around to it. And so I'm now just sitting on like 200 of these mugs. And I've given some of them away because I kind of felt bad selling anything. And so I'm giving I've given like 15 away. But the rest are just sitting here. They've been sitting here for like a year. And I just haven't felt like building the page on my site, the merchandise page on my site, in a good enough way to sell anything, you know. What's up, Frankie? What's up, Terry? What's up, Emmanuel? What's up, MP? Good morning, team. But yeah, market's down. We'll see what we get today. Should be a fun day. This is the market right here. This is where we closed, and so this is the effective gap from where we closed. Right here. That's the effective gap. So it's not too bad, you know. It's not like we're crashing down this morning, but we are down some. What's up, Scott? What's up, bro? LK stock thoughts. Let's take a look, man. Yeah, here's the SPY. We can take a look at LK. We can look at some of these other gappers here as well. LK is about break even today. It's actually right on the border of the previous closing price. So LK is almost exactly break even. Before we do this, how's the music volume? What's the volume like relative to my voice? It should be okay. It shouldn't be super loud. And if it is, let me know. If it's too low, let me know. Let me know what the music volume sounds like, guys. What's up, Ken? But yeah, LK is about break even. We'll look at that one in a little bit. Let's look at the gappers right now. We got ECOR gapping up from 75 cents roughly to $1.47. We can look at the catalyst behind this move here for ECOR. And the big news from tonight, guys, is that COVID-19, there is effectively over 1 million global cases of COVID-19, so they've broken the $1 million mark. What's up, Aussie? What's up, bro? But yeah, ECOR gapping up. Alright, so it looks like yesterday, and mostly this gap was in extended hours and after hours. They are a U.S. commercial stage bioelectronics medicine company. And they said that the markets, they said in after hours yesterday that they submitted an emergency use authorization application to the US FDA to allow the study of its use gamma core sapphire non-invasive vagus nerve stimulation therapy. And that stands for NV, or the abbreviation is NV. N as in Nancy, V as in Victor, N as in Nancy, S as in Sam, for respiratory symptoms associated with COVID-19. This is all quoting from MT Newswires. It says, quote, "The company said in a statement that it believes the clinical data from pivotal studies may suggest a possible benefit for patients with respiratory distress associated with COVID-19, and the electrocore has received CE mark in the European Union for the gamma core in certain respiratory indications, including asthma, bronchoconstriction, exercise-induced bronchospasms, and COPD, according to the statement. Nailed it. And that is ECOR, guys, gapping up from 75 cents roughly to $1.47, and most of that was actually quoting from MT Newswires. We got CAPR gapping up here as well. Alright, CAPR gapping up from $1.01 to $1.29 basically, and this is all quoting again from BZ Newswires this time, but it says a clinical stage, and this is quote, a clinical stage biotechnology company focused on the development of first-in-class biological therapeutics for the treatment of prevention of serious diseases today announced it's providing CAP1002, its novel cell therapy to patients with advanced COVID-19. Yeah, this is just another company that is jumping under the COVID-19, hey, our medicine, apparently every medicine and their grandmother medicine helps the COVID-19, apparently. At least that's what the Biotech news would show you in the last 3 weeks. Apparently every medicine in the world is being researched to treat the COVID-19. At least according to some of these news releases, every biotech company is now, apparently going to be used to treat the COVID-19, which is, again, it's all fluff. It's companies just throwing COVID-19's name out there to try to gain pumps in the stock price relative to where they are now, and whatever. I get it as a business owner, but I think it's a little slimy. I don't know if this is a company that's actually doing it. Maybe they're researching it to see if it's actually going to be beneficial for people with the coronavirus, but I just know I've seen so many different stocks come out saying they're using it, and these are stocks that I know well. I see these stocks move all the time. Regardless, we'll see what happens to CAPR at the open this morning. We got FATE, which is gapping up from 2107 to 26. This is Fate Therapeutics. So this one came out to say that them and Janssen is going to develop a cancer immunotherapy product, and they start the patient dosing and trial of FT596. And so yeah, they basically said they entered into a collaboration with Janssen, and Janssen, just to clarify, is a subsidiary of Johnson & Johnson, if anybody's wanting to know. So Fate is basically collaborating with Johnson & Johnson in order to develop it says a quote, chimeric antigen receptor, which is a CAR as the abbreviation, NK and T-cell product candidates. And under the deal, the company will receive $50 million in cash, as well as a $50 million equity investment by Johnson & Johnson, because Johnson & Johnson is just balling out of control, let's be honest here. Fate Therapeutics will also receive reimbursements for research, and this is all quoting, and development activity, as well as up to $3 billion of potential milestone and royalties on sales. And this is all from MT Newswires. But yeah, I kind of respect them because they're not going for the whole we treat the coronavirus nonsense like every other biotech in the world is doing. And so check out FATE, gapping up from 2107 to 26. We'll see what happens with it. We got Tesla up here now, guys. Tesla, look at Tesla's gap up this morning. The Dragon, making some moves this morning. And honestly, before Tesla got especially volatile, I actually had really good results trading it. I was actually super consistent trading Tesla before it went absolutely ridiculously crazy and started running up, 100% a day. I actually traded Tesla extremely profitably. And so with that said, maybe I'll consider Tesla if I don't feel like it's absolute. That's why we started calling it the Dragon, because that thing just started shooting up in a very crazy way, and it was too volatile for me to even want to trade unless I was swing trading it. What's up, the best? What's up, JB? What's up, Gavin? Yeah, we can take a look at LK real quick. We can take a little side step into LK. I think LK is going to go to zero eventually. I don't know if I'm comfortable. I definitely don't think I'm comfortable enough swing trading it. But to preface the rest of what I'm saying, I am not really a swing trader, and I really don't know what I'm talking about specifically with swing trading. And so this thing might go crazy and you might miss out on a big opportunity, or this thing might just crash down and you might lose a bunch of money. I really don't know. I know that data came out that showed that they falsified numbers, and that is like kryptonite to a stock like this. And it came out that they were falsifying numbers, and so I tend to think, since it had a huge drop, like an 85% drop yesterday, and it might have rebounded about 20%, but I still think eventually this thing's going to zero. I really don't know though. It might run up. I don't know. I know they faked numbers, and that's kryptonite. Usually, but like I said, hard for me to tell. All right, let's see what else we got. Oh wait, let's look at Tesla's catalyst if it has one. Alright, so Tesla hit first quarter record deliveries and production, and RBC sees a soft demand amid COVID-19. So yeah, Tesla said it had its best quarter ever. Its best first quarter ever, let me clarify. And this is all quoting from MT Newswires. It says, quote, "For vehicles deliveries and productions, but the better than expected results came against a, quote, very lowered bar amid weakening vehicle demand stemming from the COVID-19 pandemic." And so yeah, Tesla had good numbers, but then the COVID-19 kind of slapped it back to reality. We also have FANG here, gapping up a little bit. And the rest, I don't really like anything else. I mean, I'm going to look at AMD, MU, Micron, the consistently volatile stocks that I generally trade. Disney, Roku, and stuff like that. Like, I usually trade those a solid amount. So I'll watch those because they're right around the previous closing price. In gap downs, we have SCO, which is gapping down big, and this is a oil ETF. Let's see what oil's doing today. It's down. We got MIC gapping down big. We got a few other ones, but nothing really with big volume, it doesn't look like. We got SPWR gapping down a little bit. NEPT, RMD, PTR, but nothing really, like I said, with really big significant volume. Blue, you think it's a long-term short? US are normally main one for oil. Yeah, the US oil company. I'll check it out. Hold on, I'm trying to make sure this is muted. There we go. And I'm going to look up the overall market news, but US oil is up big today. I'm looking at SCO. I'm trying to figure out what kind of ETF this is. It's some type of ETF. I can see it. It's a ProShares, which is always an ETF. But I got to figure out what kind of ETF it is. I can look at the US oil fund, or I can look at like UWT. And like, yeah, I'll just look up the overall market news because it's about that time anyway. But yeah, here's the SPY itself, guys. Let's go ahead and look over that. SPY's been battling the previous closing price. It's about break even like yesterday. What's up, Chase? What's up, Kyle? If I can find an ETF preview that shows me the commodities. It's interesting with the market like this. Usually Fridays have a little bit lower volume, right? Like usually Fridays are a little bit dull in the market world because everybody is off doing stuff on Fridays. But with this quarantine, everybody's not going to be out doing stuff, and so I wonder what the volume's going to be like. I wonder if it's going to be better than usual. It should be. By theory, it should be. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and read some releases that came out, and this stuff came out at about 8 a.m. market time, so around 45 minutes ago, and this is all quoting from MT Newswires. It says, U.S. stock futures fell Friday as traders evaluated and this is all quote again, U.S. stock futures fell Friday as traders evaluated the mounting economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, which has now ticked off a grim milestone of 1 million confirmed cases globally, while keeping an eye on a raft of readings on the U.S. job market. The Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ futures all fell roughly 1% as of early Friday, and the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases reached 1,030,628. Man, whoever wrote this number does not know how to write numbers, man. They wrote it all wrong. It's 1,030,628. They put a 0 in front of the 6, which, you know. Anyways, yeah, 1,030,628 cases globally, with U.S., Spain, and Italy topping the list, according to Johns Hopkins University COVID-19 tracking website. Oil prices are down, with global benchmark Brent crude up 10.2%, U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude up 4.5% recently after U.S. President Trump hinted at a potential reconciliation between Saudi Arabia and Russia, who are locked in a bitter price war. And so, yeah, that's everything for right now. It also says at 10 a.m. Eastern, data is expected to show a $150,000 decline in non-farm payrolls for March versus a $273,000 rise in the previous months. The unemployment rate is expected to jump to 3.9% from 3.5%, and forecasters see private payrolls and manufacturing payrolls declining 200,000 and 20,000 respectively, according to Econoday. Let's see if we can find those numbers. And that's all quoting from MT Newswires. Let's see if we can find those numbers, though. I might be able to. Yeah, here's those numbers, as I say that. It's a bunch of numbers, so just bear with me. I'm going to read these now. U.S. average earnings year over year for March is 3.1% versus the expected 3%. U.S. government payrolls for March was 12K versus the previous 45K. U.S. labor force PARTIC for March is 62.7%. U.S. manufacturing payrolls for March was minus 18K versus the expected minus 20K. U.S. non-farm payrolls for March was minus 701K versus the expected minus 100K. U.S. U6 underemployment for March 8.7% versus the previous 7%. We have U.S. average work week hours for March was 34.2 hours versus the expected 34.1 hours. We have U.S. unemployment rate for March is 4.4% versus the expected 3.8%, with a previous of 3.5%. U.S. private payrolls for March was minus 713,000 versus the expected minus 163,000, with a previous of 228,000. U.S. average earnings for March was 0.4% versus the expected 0.2%. U.S. total non-farm birth and death rate for March was 26,000 versus the previous 143,000. Switzerland is reportedly doubling the size of business loan guarantees as well. And yeah, those are the numbers roughly for right now. Those are what are making, our markets jump, and we had a few numbers that were better than expected and a few that were worse than expected. Those are what's really making this pop off and be especially volatile this morning, specifically with the S&P 500. What are the symbols for gold and silver? UGLD is an ETF for it. I mean, you got the gold ETF, which is UGLD. You have GOLD, just gold. I think you got like NUGT, I think is a gold stock. Yeah, it's a gold miners index. You got GOLD, you got UGLD. And then you can look at the inverse gold, which is DGLD, which is like doing the opposite of what gold does. You know, like I said, I gotta figure out what kind of ETF SCO is. Let me look. I have to look at what the underlying asset is for this one. I think this is a crude oil ETF. Let me look this up. It's funny to turn on auto caption on live video. Yeah. I gotta see what the profile is for this. I don't know what. There's so many ETFs. It's hard to figure out what all of them are. I know this one says crude. Somebody in the chat will probably help me before I even say it, I'm assuming. What's SCO, guys? What's the underlying asset for SCO? Okay, it's short on oil. I appreciate it. It's a leveraged inverse oil ETF. That makes more sense. I mean, it's down. Appreciate it, Candy Ken. Thank you, brother. What's up, Shiraz? Never heard of them, man. What are they? Yeah, I've never heard of it, man. If it's a platform, yeah, never heard of it, brother. I'm looking at. I googled it just now. Does a faster PC make a difference in trading? Well, in trading, it's all about RAM, man. It's all about memory. You know, like I had to upgrade my memory here so I would run Thinkorswim a little bit better, because Thinkorswim and like trading platforms are notoriously, you know, memory hungry, and like they use a lot of memory. And so the one thing I would suggest a computer have, if it's trying to use web-based platforms, it doesn't really matter, but if you're using a desktop application, you're going to need some memory. Like especially like Thinkorswim, that thing eats a ton of memory. Hey, no stress, Francisco. No worries, brother. Yeah, listen, I'm a good DJ, man. You know, my friend Kelly used to call me Jukebox Johnny because I would always control the radio. And if you look at my poker name on Global Poker, my poker name is Jukebox Johnny. You know, because of that. So I'm a DJ. But yeah, the market's down. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I mean, it depends. How much RAM? Yeah, I mean, of course, if you can, anything over like, I would suggest 12 and over. 8 gigs will probably run it, but like if you try to run it on some of those little cheap $300 computers that you buy at Best Buy, or Walmart. Like, most of those aren't going to work. You need at the very least 8 gigs. I would suggest 12 at least. 12 will run it. And I ran 12 on this computer. I recently upgraded to 32. But I did run 12 on this computer, and it worked fine for years. And that's with 3 monitors and a ton of stuff up. And so 12 will probably get the job done with any computer. If you can, I would just get a stock 16 gig RAM. Most computers, 12 is a little unusual for, as far as numbers go. I would suggest, 16 out the box. My computer right now, like my desktop is an i7 32 gig computer, like desktop, so it's an i7 32 gig, and it runs, I run Thinkorswim, Tefs, Trade Ideas, OBS, a bunch of Chrome tabs, WordPad, and a bunch of other stuff. So I run a million different programs at once, and it gets the job done. But again, I got an i7 32 gig computer. Just to clarify, I don't actually make any of these beats. Like, these aren't my songs. Somebody asked me that yesterday. When I say DJ, I just mean like I pick out the music. Because that's all it really, let's be honest, that's all a DJ really does, I mean, it depends on what you define DJ as. But I'm just saying I pick out the music. And with trading specifically, I just want to make it chill music. Like, I don't want it to be too crazy. Because, like, that's going to make my mental game worse if I'm in a trade. I'm gonna be too stressed out, man, if the music's like pumping too hard. Yeah, I have a solid state drive, TAR. Yeah, I mean, you could get an SSD but a conventional hard drive will run fine. Like a conventional hard drive will work fine. I think this is actually a conventional hard drive, actually. Like, my desktop is a regular hard drive, an old school hard drive. My laptop, I have a Lenovo Legion Y540, I think is what it is, a Legion Y540, and it's a hybrid. It's a SSD HD hybrid, but that thing's super fast, man. Like, really, my laptop's a better computer, but I still just use my desktop because my desktop handles it fine. Hey, what's up, Booker Z? What's up, brother? Yeah. Yeah, people don't understand how easy it is to install RAM. You literally unscrew the back of your desktop, you pull the old RAM out, and you push the new RAM in. And boom, you restart your computer. Your RAM's installed. Super easy. TBLT, I got you, bro. I got you. I'm on it. Here you go. TBLT, penny stock, gapping up from $14. I'll say this, it's probably a terrible company. And so if you're looking at actually like investing in a stock like this, I don't know what I'm talking about with penny stocks, but I do know that most of them are in fact terrible companies that are probably eventually going to fail. And a lot of the time, insiders within companies are just using penny stocks as a shell to pump the price up, make millions, and then they don't really care what happens to it because they're selling all of their ownership stake, all of their shares, and that happens. That's pretty common. So with that said, TBLT, I could look up a catalyst if it has one. I just don't, like I said, I don't. Penny stocks are not really my style. Yeah, I don't really see anything new except for they put out fiscal 2019 results. Revenue increased 25% to $19 million compared to $15.3 million in fiscal. Gross profit increased 60% to $5.6 million compared with $3.5 million last year. Reduced net loss attributable to common stockholders, $4.3 million or 14 a share compared to $32.3 million a year ago. So yeah, TBLT, it had good numbers, but it has since fallen back down. It looks like about 40% from its highs. It went up to 23. It's It's at 13 now. So yeah, this is it. It's fallen like 46% or something like that. I don't know how accurate that number is, but it sounds about right. About 46% is what it's dropped to since then. All in with LK. LK faked its numbers, man. LK just came out with something that said that this is what, just to show you the timeline of LK, right? The last 6 months, LK's going crazy, running up huge percentage moves, ridiculous moves. Hype gets behind it. Everybody's bullish on LK, right? Then somebody leaks something that said that LK might be fabricating their numbers. Their numbers might be faked. Everybody gets scared, you know. LK comes out like, nah, dude, we're not faking our numbers. LK comes out and denies those claims, says they're not faking numbers. And then, you know, 3-4 months later, I don't know if it's that long, a few months later, LK comes out and says that it was actually accurate, that they are looking internally to see who faked the numbers, because they don't know who did it, or they're looking into or investigating it now, apparently. And the stock drops 85% overnight. So that's LK right now. Sure, it bounced 20% yesterday, but I mean, 20% of $4, $5 isn't anything. You know, this thing dropped 85% of $27. And so I'm highly skeptical of LK. It is break even on the day, really. Point is, I think eventually this thing will probably go to zero, but you know, who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, it is kind of like Legos, bro. And listen, it's really easy to do it, right? Like, you just look for your old RAM stick. Like, you'll have a stick of RAM, right? It's about this big. And you look for the old one. You find the old one. You literally just pull the old one out. Make sure your computer's unplugged. And then you just press down. Like, you put your new one on the slot where your old RAM was. And you literally just press down until you hear it click. Once you hear it click, some of them have like little folding arms that'll lock it in place. Once you do that, that's it. There's YouTube videos on it. You know, like I said, I recently changed mine from 12 gigs to 32 gigs, and you know, feels good. What's my internet speed? I have the gigabit internet connection. Just because I stream every day. So I have the gigabit, which is supposed to be 1,000 megabits per second. It equals out, usually on average, it's probably around 500,000 megabits. But it's really fast. It's the equivalent of Google Fiber. But it's Comcast, and I hate Comcast. Twitter moving? Zoom? Yeah, Twitter is popping up. I mean, I just think a lot of people are probably home, and so social media companies, I would think, would do especially better with that said. Who knows, though, but I would think that's why. Let me look up to see if we got a catalyst behind it. I think it's probably just from people staying home for Twitter. AMD spiking up a little bit too. So Twitter was upgraded by Goldman. He upgraded it to a buy from a neutral, and that's it. Yeah. So this was just a Goldman Sachs upgrade. It's gapping up from 2302 to 2417. It must be nice, man, where you could just kind of upgrade the stock, and then everybody jumps onto it. You know. Yeah, a lot of stuff. Look at the SPY battle here, guys. Let me see if I can find the actual market preview again. But look at the SPY, just pushed over the previous closing price, which is the biggest level here. This light blue line is where the market closed yesterday. So we are now green on the day as long as we maintain above that light blue line here on the SPY. I'm not seeing the ETF preview for today. Same internet, hate Comcast. Yeah, I mean, I'll give their internet, like Comcast internet's good, right? The problem is that Comcast is sneaky, man, and they'll just raise your rates without telling you. And then they'll pretend like your old rate expired, but the problem is whenever you're actually buying the internet, they never tell you when it expires. They kind of just randomly throw the number up and pump it up to an unreasonable number, and you got to call them back and like haggle them back down. It's ridiculous, right? That way of doing business is absolutely ridiculous. You know, I just want a number, and I want my number to stay. And so I used to have Comcast cable, and I disconnected it, and it felt so good because they like argue with you when you disconnect their cable. You know, they do not want you to cancel. And so, you know, I appreciate the sub. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. Welcome to the team. But yeah, they hated it, man. It felt good. But with that said, their internet's pretty solid. I'll give Comcast a little bit of credit here, as much as I dislike them. Their internet's actually legit. Like the gigabit internet is actually fast. So I can't hate on them too much. When will hotels start moving up? Lots of good companies in the toilet. Hyatt, Marriott, and Hilton down 60% in the last 30 days. I mean, yeah, nobody's going to a hotel. I'm certainly not right now. Yeah, man, it felt good. Like I said, people don't realize, like, listen, I know people, like, want Comcast, right? I know people want, like, digital cable. Like, I understand it. And I had digital cable for a while. And, like, listen, I'm a big movie guy, so, like, I love watching movies. Market's testing below that previous close right now. So the market's actually testing that level. Again, it's this blue level here at 251.83 is where the market closed yesterday. And we have effectively broken underneath that. And we're kind of battling it right now. And so we're battling from red to green and green to red right now as the market pushes over and under this light blue line. And again, that's the previous closing price where the market closed yesterday. Anyways, regardless, what I was going to say is that a lot of people get digital cable and it's like hundreds of dollars a month. And like, I understand it. Like, I get it. But the difference is that like Sling TV or Hulu, like I'll put it into perspective, right? I have Sling TV, Hulu, and Netflix. That gives me way more content than Comcast cable ever did. And all of that stuff, like Sling TV, which is actually like live TV. I can search through my channels, find local channels, find everything I would with Comcast, right? All of that involved is less than $100 a month. All of that. Like all of that entertainment is less than $100 a month. With Comcast, I was paying like $250 a month, right? And they would raise it up to like $300-$400 if I didn't stop them for it. And so I can get way more entertainment for $100 or less with Sling, Hulu, and Netflix. Like all of it. You know, I even have Hulu TV. Like Hulu TV, Sling TV, so it's two different types of TV, so I can make sure I get all my sports, and Netflix is less than $100 a month. And I think that just makes sense. It makes more sense. It's more TV than cable is. And it's just cheaper. But yeah, I stick with them for internet because their internet's the best. All right, but look, the market's dropping below that previous closing price. Look, there it goes. It's down to 351 now. Big drop. Let me see if something came out. All right, so we had UK COVID-19 cases rose to 38,168 versus the previous 33,718. The death toll rose to 3,695 in the UK, with deaths at 23.42%. rise versus yesterday's 24.91%. Alright, so here's the ETF preview. It actually finally came out this morning. And this is all quoting from MT Newswires. It says, quote, stock futures were lower after the U.S. non-farm payroll report for March showed a massive decline in jobs even before companies started a wave of layoffs and most states locked down public activities because of the COVID-19 pandemic. The U.S. economy lost 701,000 jobs for the month, compared with the consensus of 150,000 according to a poll by Econoday. The February print was revised up to 275,000 from 273 reported initially, and the unemployment rate for March was 4.4% versus the prior rate of 3.5% and the expectations of 3.9%. Average hourly earnings rose 0.4% compared with estimates of 0.2% versus the prior month's 0.3%. Looking ahead to March, the March reading of the U.S. Services Purchasing Managers Index, which is the PMI, comes out at 9:45 Eastern. That is in about 34 minutes. And so be on the lookout for that. And the Institute for Supply Management will release its March reading at 10 a.m., which is in about 49 minutes. And to look at the commodities really quick, we have crude that's up nearly 5%, which it's kind of weird. Let me see. We can look at the U.S. Oil Fund. Is probably the best way to look at crude. USO is up 9.6%. Natural gas is up 1%. We can look at natural gas here with UGAZ. Now, what's a good natural gas stock, guys? I'm not really used to the crude oil and natural gas stocks. I look at the ETFs like UGAZ, DGAZ, but I can look at UNG, U.S. Natural Gas Fund, was up 0.6%. Gold is up marginally. We can just look at GLD. Yeah, it's about break even. The Spider Gold Trust is 2.2% higher. Silver's up 3%. We can look at SLV. And the iShares Silver Trust was quiet, which is actually gapping down some. And so yeah, that's the market right now, guys. Let me know what you think is going to happen today, whether you're bullish or bearish on this market. Again, the SPY itself recently broke under that previous close price. It's kind of been in this range, though. I mean, we can look at this range and see it. It's a slightly bearish sideways range, but that's the range right there. We'll see if it ever breaks out of that in this market. In here, we should have him in here. Hey, I appreciate the sub. Click. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. What's up, Mitch? Turn this up a little.
What up, man?
What's up, bro? All right, guys. We got Mitch in the house.
Time to turn up.
I'm gonna start calling you Mitchy Rich. You know, it's kind of like Richie Rich, but Mitchy Rich. I like it better. You know.
Boom, boom.
Or I could call you Rich Mitch. You know, that's a good one too. All right, I got you up. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, man. So hold it down, Mitch. I'll be back.
Money making Monday, Mitch.
Yeah, I like it. Hey, it has a ring to it, you know.
All right, let's do it. What's going on, guys? How we doing? Good morning. Good morning. Oh, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Everybody hear me well? All right. Oil game hard today. What's going on, guys? How we doing? Mitchell, we got Shiraz, we got Adam, Fresco, Kanik Kang in the house. What's going on? We got Alan, Tyler, Chris, Gavin, Gold, Tiny Tuner. We got the J. What's going on, guys? Good morning. Good morning, Jay. Let's make that million. Just a quick meal right quick. Oh, the Cuban in the house. We can't talk about millions no more. We're talking billions now. We got the Cuban. Yo, Cuban, you don't remember meeting me in Vegas? What's going on, guys? Loud and clear. Boom. What's going on, Mikey? Good to see you guys. Let's check out my shopping list. How we doing? This is one of mine on my shopping list, USFD. One of my favorites on my shopping list, starting to make its way back down. I'm hoping to get back under $10 on this one. I really like it. What's good, Addicted? How we doing? Terry in the house. All right. Another one that I like, guys, Maxar. Maxar long term. I've been looking at this one. My buy points for this one are going to be 830. And then I have all the way down to 405. Going to be looking for this one to come back to around the 830s mark. That's when I would really like to start trying to buy Maxar. And then I'm going to be looking for it to come back eventually. In the long term, I'm looking for it to come back above at least 15. I think 15 is an easy price point for this one. Remember, this one has huge contracts with the government. That's why I like this one. You see it's starting to make a bottom here. I'm trying to catch it somewhere around here near this bottom on the weekly chart and then try to get it to come back up here. If it comes down to this 405, I also will take some more. All right, guys, another one on my shopping list to watch, guys, is, of course, one of my favorite stocks, Disney. I'm waiting for it to come back down towards 76. 76, 75 would get me into this stock. Still hasn't come down enough for me, but I do like it in these areas. It could eventually come back up to 140s. It's definitely an interesting one to watch. Let's look at the oil stocks. You guys want to look at some oils? This is one that I traded yesterday, Gush. You can see the amount of volume that got in there on the weekly, 19 million, significant amount. If you look back on the weekly chart, what do you see? You see no volume spikes like that, right? What does that mean? People are really starting to try to call the bottom in oil. Is this the bottom? I'm not sure, guys. We got 9 million shares traded yesterday. I think it's going to be very important what happens today. But the levels that I'm watching, guys. So the levels that I'm watching on oil, yesterday it kept going from 16 to about this 1850 mark, then coming back down, all the way down, and then keep bouncing back and forth through the range. Look for it today to break out through 1850 on the bull side. If not, I think we'll go ahead and try to consolidate for maybe a day or two before we break out. Really positive news in oil, but I think it was priced in yesterday. So watch today for maybe a consolidation day or a pullback. But if it does rip over this 1850, I definitely will be taking a look. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at some of those cruise liners. I see X Trigger. Want to talk about the cruises? Let's go ahead. The cruises did exactly what we talked about on Monday, guys. If we went back and we looked at the chart, you could even go back and look at our live stream. On Monday, we talked about this line right here, this 1571. Look how it says it was created on 330. Even my line can tell you. That's the cool thing about TC. It tells you when my line was created. It was created at 326 at 1571. So this is what we're going to be really watching. This is the big day. This is where I think the huge resistance is. If we ever get back above this, yeah, you could say, all right, I'm going to start taking a shot for the bullish run. But we talked about this on Monday, that these could come right back down towards the low. And man, these cruise lines just came right back down, guys. You see this same line here that we drew here. Same line we drew here, 1599 on CCL. Boom, right back down towards the low. AAL. Well, let's look at the last one. Royal Caribbean. Same thing, same chart. AAL. Same thing, same chart. UAL. Same thing, same chart. LUV. DAL. I'm trying to run through the charts so you guys see the consistency in those patterns in the industries and why I've been trading industries together. Let's look at the car rentals. HTZ, same chart. Car, same chart. you guys need to try to understand these daily charts, the way I've been approaching them, because to tell you the truth, it's been really swings of ranges in stocks right now. We have high volatility, from a stock like, let's say, car, that was going from this $20 down towards about like $8, then back up towards 20, then back down towards 8. Those are big, significant moves, guys. We could definitely make money on those. We just need to use our resistance and support the right ways. Another thing you can look at is kind of the retail sector has been getting hit a little bit here. Urban, you can see the retail sector getting hit there. The weakest one, I think, is Macy's. Macy's is really getting hit there. People are trying to call the bottom on Macy's here, maybe $3, $2, but I think Macy's is definitely in trouble, and you could see it on the chart. JWN, Nordstrom, definitely also doing the same thing. It popped up, went down way below the support now. So you could see a bounce back in these today, but definitely you're seeing weakness. There's certain stocks like Express that I think could even go out of business. Like, look at this stock, Express. Express is somewhere where I used to shop often, and this is down to $1.42. This stock was at $6 in December. Now it's down to $1.42. So these are the kind of trades that you got to keep looking at, and you can go ahead and make some good money on. All right. What's going on, guys? How we doing? This is your first time here in the channel. Definitely hit the subscribe button, hit the like. That's how you support us. We're 100% free, and we do this and go through news and chart levels. And the really reasons why we do this, guys, is to show you guys through experience and how we attack the market every single day.
Yep. Hey, man.
So what's up, man? What's up, John?
What's up, bro? Chilling, man. Chilling.
One that you might see moving today, 3M, Triple M. Expensive company, but really getting pushed by Trump in the speech yesterday. So you could see this one run today. Big time support right underneath it. That's what I like. If you look at this on the daily chart and weekly chart, you have a huge support underneath it at 130s.
Did you see Tesla this morning, bro?
Yeah.
Tesla.
The deliveries.
Yeah.
Deliveries, man. I'm a little upset because I wanted that one in the 300s, and I completely missed it the one day that it got in the 300s. I just didn't even see it that day. If I would have known it was in the 300s, I literally have it written down. Like, I have it written down since it went to near 1,000. I said, let it come back down underneath 400. Anything underneath 400, I thought was a good buy point, because if you looked at the weekly chart and the daily chart, that was a full retracement of the rip out. So a full retracement, usually you're going to have a really close support underneath you, and the resistance is so far up that why not take a 10-to-1 trade, an 11-to-1 trade?
Yeah, for sure.
There's nothing wrong with doing those.
Right. What do you think of Boeing? Somebody's asking what we think of Boeing.
Oh, the Boeing life. To me, Boeing still has room on the downside. You guys can see my line I have written down here, 71.41. That's when I would get interested in Boeing. Underneath 70. Why? Because look at this long line that it tried to break out through. Here, let me put it more on a monthly. You're going to be able to see it better. So it in 2000 tried to break out through the 71. Then eventually in 2005, it broke out through that 71. Then it went down below that 71 again. Then came back up, kept trying to break it, would just wick past it, and then finally surged in 2013 past that through 80, and then moved into the 100 area. I think we definitely need to see Boeing get underneath the 100, at least in my eyes, for me to go long on this one, just because they don't have one worry. they have multiple worries. And when multiple worries are out on a company, you really have to be you really got to be careful of catching what they call the falling knife. And to me, this looks like a big dagger, man.
Right.
I'm not messing with that dagger for a little while.
Somebody else is asking about David Buster's, brother. What do you think about that one? Play.
Let's take a look. Chart says everything, right? I haven't really looked at this chart. I do think this chart could be breaking down, so I think the levels you got to watch are now. Let's look at the hourly. So it's another story of the kind of the same chart we've been looking at a lot, guys. Big bounces in the rally, and then sells coming down. I think the big thing you need to see is you need to see a big seller. There was some big pushback here on this 19th day. Someone bought big, and then they sold it right back up here. You see, that's why you see those volume. It got here, they got bigger, it broke out, they sold it in the relief rally. Now you're seeing low volume, and the stock is going where, guys? Straight down. That low volume means that there's just bear pressure. There's not even bear shorting. I wouldn't really necessarily see people shorting this big. I think this is more along just pressure, downwards pressured by the overall market. So what I would watch is the support line, 950s. We get back below 950s, we're gonna test this other support that was down here toward the 750.
Yeah. So
watch for those lines, the 950, and then that other little channel that it broke out of here, which is that 760, 750 line. Those are the supports. Resistance, I would say, is at 15 right now.
Sebastian says, hey, beginner trading, I am new here. What's your name? So my name is John. I'm the guy you see on the screen. The chart now, the dark blue chart's Mitch. So this back chart's Mitch. My chart is this chart right here. So when you see this chart up and you see this window specifically up, like this is my trading. And then when you see this chart, this is Mitch's trading. When really it's this. You'll see this right here. So this right here is Mitch.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will be this one. But yeah, I'm the guy on screen right now. My name is John. Guy talking is Mitch.
All right, guys. One you guys can watch. I don't know if you've covered this one, John. Ecor.
I think I looked at it once this morning, vaguely. I think it was like the first one I looked at this morning.
Yeah, I'll just run it through. It's a company submitted emergency use authorization application to study use of gamma core therapy to treat the coronavirus.
Nice.
Other than that, I don't really see anything really focused.
Yeah, there you go. I just gave you a great explanation in the chat. You know, that's us. Right, I'm John Wick. What's up, crazy? Just came across your channel. Hey, welcome, dude. All right, guys.
Hey, guys. Let me give you a little tip in Tesla before you guys get kind of a little too excited also with Tesla. I know a lot of people are going to be really excited thinking that it's going to go right back to 1,000. Understand that it's stuck between this range here, 550s and 450s. Right now it's stuck in between that range. Why? You can clearly see it right here on the daily chart. The 16th, it starts creating that resistance. It went down all the way down towards that 350, bounced to 550, came back down, found support at 450, now created that third resistance at 550. You could see it try to create another support here, maybe 500 or 450 before it tries that 550 again. So definitely pay attention to that big range. That's a 100-point range there, guys.
Yeah. We got 30 seconds, team. Let's do this. Just to take a look at the SPY real quick. This is what the SPY is doing before the bell. The SPY is down slightly. Here's the previous closing price again. We're still kind of in that range I drew earlier, but previous closing price is at 251.83. We're at 250.95, so we're about 88 cents away from the previous closing price, but we are in fact technically red on the day now that we are below this previous closing price. And an interesting level to watch at the open is seeing if the SPY breaks this previous close right here, other stocks might follow it up. So that's what I'm watching. There's the bell. Good luck, team. Let's do this.
All right, guys, my two bullish stocks that I'm bull on is Peloton and Chewy today.
There we go. All right, let's do this, guys. Market's pushing up right at the open.
I'm also going to keep an eye on oil for you guys. I'll let you guys know if I'm going to take a trade on oil.
Remember, guys, we got 288 people, almost 290 people in here. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. AMD dropping big at the bell. Big drop. Filled the entire pre-market range in one candle, but this is a huge candle, so it's actually very volatile. Let's do this, team. Getting some big drops at the open, too. The market dropped kind of big. But
it's a huge candle there.
Yeah. Very volatile open. Huge range. That first candle was 55 cents on AMD. Exactly 55 cents. Just a huge candle. The SPY itself is pretty crazy, too.
The opposite, a bear ETF in the oil moving up here a little bit. So you could see a down move first in oil.
What's up, Raul? What's up, brother? Good morning, man.
AAL dropping big there, guys. About 30 cents there out the gates. Urban heading down there too, 40 cents down.
Market kind of pushing up a little bit, but still in a sideways range for now. Huge range, but
Peloton
still sideways.
Pulling up here. Good amount of volume here in Peloton. Could see a run start happening here.
You kind of see this little range here in the market right now. You can see it down from 251s. You can see the bottom of the range here. We squeeze this together a little bit. You can see a little bit better, I think. Let's see if we break that range. After that, like
on the downside, MRO for oil. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, you're good. We got 312 people in here, guys. Hit that like button. Help support our channel. We're free. We're just a free resource. And so if you appreciate the free content, the live day trading for free every weekday, hit that subscribe button. We do that every weekday. Hit the like button as well. Here's the market break out of that range. And now it looks like it's going to go up and test that previous closing price. That's usually a pretty big resistance or support level. So we'll see if the SPY itself breaks it. Ooh, big rejection at that previous close. We break lows, I might scalp into other stocks. Just depends.
All right, looking at Peloton, maybe a trade here off 27.25s. The risk would be off 27. If I do take it. CVS pushed up a little bit. You can look for that one maybe.
I was about to scalp that pullback to the previous close, but I just missed it barely. Market's rebounding all the way up to the highs. This should pull everything else and drag everything else up, especially if like the SPY breaks that previous close right here. Looks like it's going to.
All right, guys. Looking at RAD. Probably going to take a long here. If I can get a good entry here.
I'm in with 200 shares of MU. We're going to see if it pulls up really quick and I can take a quick profit. Looking for the SPY to break that previous closing price and drag MU up. About break even now. See if the SPY can do it. There we go. There's 36s.
All right, just bought 100 shares.
And the bid
Risking
price.
off of 80 here, 1180s for RAD. I'm in only with 100 shares though, guys. I saw Chewy just get taken down.
I'm gonna take half off here, leave this first trade pretty easy. I got 100 shares now. Market pushing up should help me, but this should help me conserve some risk. Spread's the biggest issue here. SPY's just battling that previous close though.
Looking at Peloton, also MRO for a fade. That's only a 10 cent range. Square looks like it's about to dump. Let's see. About to get off in rad. Yep, I'm out.
I just took half off of MU, another half. I'm just going to let this last little 50 shares roll here. The SPY did get rejected there, so I'm probably just going to bail out of this. So $15 small win. I'll take it. Just took advantage of the quick pullback and break. The SPY didn't actually break that high of the day, so I got out a little bit early, and I think that's okay. It's just a very early trade for me. But not a bad little green trade for my first little trade in the books this morning. I don't select any broker. I just go to Trader View and I go to Import Trades. That's all you do. You just go to Import Trades. The SPY's pulling back a little bit. Go back to AMD. Yeah, AMD's ripping on breaking highs. Yeah, I'm already out of my trade though. I'm not gonna just buy the high of the day break. That's not what I want. I'm trading off of the SPY's volatility. That's why you see I have the SPY up, and then like if the SPY is looking bullish, I'll jump in a following stock and scalp the move on it. So like I saw the SPY push up to test that previous close right here, and I jumped in MU and wrote it up for the high of the day break in MU, and it's still pushing up. I probably sold a little bit too soon just to show you. Here is MU. I got in right here. Let me find out where I got in. I think I got into I got in MU like right here. Right here. And then wrote it up and sold here. So just a quick little scalp.
APT pop, big pop, guys. Also Omni.
SPY pushing up again to test that previous high of the day, and that previous, not the high of the day, the previous close. Well, I guess it's both actually. It's at 83s, it's at 77s now, 67s, 57s. Got rejected again at that previous closing price. Big rejection this time though. Very volatile market actually. I'm gonna wait until we get a clean break of something to trade it, so I'll put Mitch up until then if he decides to. What's LK doing? It's tanking down. Yeah, big pullback in the SPY and the other following stocks.
Just looking for a pullback here in drip, but I might not get it. Let's see if we get it. Need a pullback by 930s or 925s.
What's Twitter doing today? Alright, here's the SPY back up there. It's gotten rejected like 12 times. There's the break. SPY broke highs. SPY ripping up, breaking highs again. Big push. Just scalped a little bit more on MU. Same kind of trade. I'm going to hold the rest break even here. Market's pushing up pretty strong.
All right. Just took another trade here. Just gonna risk 10 cents here. Long on RAD.
Market pushing up big here. I got out the rest there for, I don't know how much. I'm up about $40 in the day, 35. Both trades on MU this morning. Again, trading the SPY volatility.
All right, now looking better now here.
Huge squeeze up for a lot of stocks.
Yep, looking for this to break out through 12s.
You like the new songs, Nick? Hey, thanks, bro.
Big flip there for oil. It's interesting for drip, but I'm not going to take it since I'm already in RAD.
Yeah, and like again, for everybody asking our names, I'm John Wick, and he's Rich Mitch.
All right, guys, looking for AAL to pull back here to 1030s or 1025 for a VWAP bounce play. Seeing CVS rip up there, so I should see my RAD rip up there. So let's see what happens here. Just sticking to my entry right now. CAR also pushing up there. We're getting a big push up from some stocks. HTZ.
Yeah, huge squeeze up in the market. I kind of wish I would have held MU a little bit longer because it even looks kind of stronger than the market, but
it's oil. Late. Oil holding it up still, guys. It's going to be a big watch on oil day. There you go, up there now to the 12s. 1203. Seeing CVS keep moving up, so I'm looking to add here.
So a big support level in the SPY is at 250, 258. 250, 250 really. So we'll see if the SPY holds there. That's kind of the one of the highs of pre-market. It's not the actual high, but we also have the actual high at 253 even for the SPY. So we'll see if we break those levels. And again, 250, 250. Look at that level. Watch that level, guys. What strategy are you trading, Raul? What's up, hero?
All right, guys, got to see 88 holds now. It's looking good for me in RAD.
SPY's pulling back to that 250, 250 level, guys. That same level. We'll see what happens here. Hopefully we get a bounce, but there we go. Bounced exactly where, guys? It bounced at 250, 250. It might fake us out though. Here, let's wait.
Calling out a potential squeeze coming here in KSS. There's AAL at the VWAP if you want to take a VWAP bounce.
I've
You
just
think
been,
we're gonna go back up?
yeah, I've just been scalping. I'm gonna wait until we get a high of the day breaker or something of the sorts, some big momentum. Yeah, we've actually broke under that 250 level. The next level is 252.
Ooh, look at drip. Take off. Oil going down there, guys. I'm gonna expect the market to drop here a little bit. Trying to get an ad here for rad, but I'm gonna make sure I get it at the right spot.
We got a big retracement of that downward candle, so we should see some upward momentum now. Market pulled back to that 250, 250, pushing up to 253, and so we might get a nice little surge up here.
Surge up there from APT. This is the next stop, 25s. There's AAL popping back up. See what the biggest movers of the day for me are. We got Cron up 4.6%.
I just took a little baby scalp on MU. I lost $6. First losing trade of the day though. Kind of bummed out about it. I just didn't like how the SPY dropped below 250, 250 again, but it's been a little sideways right now. Kind of faked me out, it looks like. Yeah, there's the big pullback, so glad I got out of that. Again, the next level for the SPY is 252, whole dollar. Yeah, guys, you guys don't know, I got this beginner trading mug. This is my custom mugs right here. I got about 200 of these things, man. Check this out. Look.
Square, dropping big.
See that? It's a VWAP fade mug, team. That's right.
UAL approaching VWAP bounce play.
Alright, so the S&P 500 is actually pulling back to the previous closing price here. I gotta see where that is on the SPY. So yeah, that is kind of close to where we are on the SPY. On the S&P 500 is at 25.2692, so roughly 25.27. That usually is a pretty big support level, so we might bounce there. If we don't bounce there, the market might have a sudden surge down, going from green to red. So we'll see. We're testing that level now. We're right there on the S&P 500. We've got a little bit more room on the SPY itself. We're about 45 cents away on the SPY. S&P, we're right there though.
All right, just took 200 in AAL for the VWAP bounce play, guys. Have it at 28s. Stop is at 1020. Risking 8 cents on the trade there. Let's see if Rad wants to come back up here through the 12s. Might add. Now that it's been holding and holding.
Nice mug. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Where do I get one of those bad? I got like 200 of them.
Those bad boys. Car at VWAP also. The rentals are doing the same kind of move today, guys. HTZ and car look very, very similar on your chart. There you go, back up 12s.
Bucks means money, John.
All right, looking to add at 12. We're getting a boost up here to 1206. Have an order to add 100 shares at 12 exactly.
We did get a bounce there.
There you go. It's got 100 more of RAD on that pullback. Picked it up right at VWAP. Now got to hold off of 90s.
S&P 500 just had a big candle underneath that previous close. Same thing with the SPY. We'll see if it bounces back. It's still above the VWAP though. But...
All right, stop placed at 85 here. 85s. Needs to come right back up through 12 if we're going to get that rip. If it comes down, immediately out for me. Now that I added.
What's up, Noah? What's up, Junior? I remember. So a few stocks taking a dive because the market broke below the previous close.
All right, big bid put on there at AAL. Let's see if it holds the 1020s.
AMD back down to the bottom of that range. That one looks a little interesting. SPY's pulling back up to test that previous closing price. I'm more so watching the S&P 500 though.
If we come back up through the 1035s, I might add for AAL. SPY on a big VWAP bounce look.
That's right, Noah. Nice work, bro.
$250.50 is important for this stuff.
I might take a little bit of MU short here. It just broke under that previous close, kind of like a rejection. The SPY might have some support though at 25.19 or so. Man, I wish I would have taken it. I just kind of hesitated there, but nice drop for MU. There'll be other plays though. We'll wait and see what we get. All right, S&P 500 is looking pretty weak here. It's at 25.20.
Stopped out AAL, $16 loss there. 1020s might be the bottom, but I put a stop. Didn't really want to watch both of them. We'll see if it gets called at the bottom. Keeping the losses small early.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, Noah. Trying to get multiple income streams. You got to, man. That's how you do it. I'm still bummed out I didn't take that MU short at that low break at 41.34. Would have made a nice 15 cents from it, but too late now. Alright, we're getting a little bit of a bounce here in the market though. Market's bouncing up to 25.21 here.
Yeah, I might have just got stopped out there in AAL. It did bottom out there, but that's how it goes sometimes when you set a stop.
Yeah, it's always good to follow your plan, brother. No stress.
Nope. Got wicked out also there in RAD. It wicked me out. Didn't even really sell there. It just wicked out. So out of there too, $34 loss.
Yeah, Mitch is focusing on trades, hero. You gotta chill, man.
Yeah, for the first 15 minutes, you guys won't even. I try not to even look at the chat. Anyways, it's part of it is not that I don't want to see what you guys are saying. It's just You don't want to be basing your trade ideas based off of others. That's one thing I learned real early.
Right, for sure.
And then just you can tell everyone about your trade, but you shouldn't be basing your trade because of someone else.
Right, 100%. Like in the chat, you get a lot of people saying, "Do this, don't do that," do this. And,
Yeah.
and it is what it is. It happens,
Exactly.
All right, so we're getting a big rebound.
Just stopped on Rad. Yeah, it looks like I got just stopped out on Rad.
Yeah, SPY quickly turned around here the last few candles, breaking above that previous close now. Making it hard for me to get any momentum scalps, though, just because we're kind of in the middle range.
Mm-hmm. Well, we created a big bottom here at 87. Five-minute chart has a breakout here. Nope, there's a push towards 1204.
Yeah, I think a big level now for the S&P 500 is that previous closing price. The SPY is back above the previous close, but the S&P 500 is actually testing it right now. So whether it breaks here or gets rejected, I think that's going to influence a lot of which way these things head. Yeah, there's the break. Just broke it on the upside.
Man, just got wicked out there. 1 penny. Yeah, I think that might have been trapped there in Rad. I'm waiting, guys. I want to see some kind of breakout or breakdown here. Peloton broke out there. That's a Chewy. Chewy.
MU just tanked down on me, so lost a few bucks. Still only down 11.50. So I'm kind of swinging it today. We'll see what happens. Not swinging it. It's fluctuations, I should say. But yeah, MU actually looks weak here. Market's pulling back, but I think the market will probably bounce right here on that previous closing price. I just gotta find another stock that looks good. Hold on, guys. My wife's asking me something. Sorry, my wife came and said she's not feeling that good. Luckily, she's not running a fever, but she said she's got like a stuffy nose and stuff. We'll see what happens. It was a big breakout in the SPY. big retracement there. Little choppy chop today.
Yeah, without a doubt.
What is my Disney buy number? I'm not sure, man. I don't know if I want Disney right now. Oh, for investing? Nah, you gotta ask Mitch that.
76, man. That looks like a good support level. That would be in 2014 profits. All right. I think we might get a little fade here, so I'm going to take a small trade, 100 shares again. I'm actually short on Chewy, even though I feel bullish on this one. Short right here just because I've been seeing the rejections happen often. 34s get me out immediately.
I just took a scalp on AMD. Or no, MU.
About to get out. Just wicked.
I'll try to put myself up real quick.
I'm out. We got squeezed there and Chewy. Definitely trap day, man. The only thing that's really been working as of late is afternoon trading.
Yeah, I might get out the rest of this break even here. I'm gonna let the SPY see if it keeps bouncing up, but MU's definitely pulling back fast. Kept it pretty even. Only down $2.
Super trappy today, guys.
Yeah, I think she's okay. Luckily, she's not running a fever, which I think is like the big indicative thing. She says she thinks it's allergies. I hope so.
It's morning allergies.
Yeah,
it happens often.
Yeah, if you're not running a fever, it's good, you know.
I mean, I sneeze a lot in the morning.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
Just start sneezing out of nowhere.
Yeah. Alright, SPY pulling back. Yeah, y'all might hear some kids in the background. My son's doing school right now. Big pullback in the SPY. Big drop. This is kind of how my mornings go usually. I kind of get a little, go back and forth, and then I start to get into my mode a little bit better. So, big pullback though. Under that previous close, everything looks really, really weak now.
Yeah, everything just kind of flipped.
Yeah, I might get in with a little sheer size of MU and see if we can just ride a short-term volatility down. It's pulling back to that previous close, which might be able to give me a little bit better entry here. Unless the market just swings right back up. But I'm looking at the S&P 500 really closer than anything because that's going to dictate it more. And if the S&P 500 gets rejected here, it should drag everything else down.
UAL cracking there. Rad's still holding, but it stopped me out by a penny at 85s. Looks like it's trying to break through 1208s, but it's really trappy, really.
That pullback. If it bounces up to 20, I don't mind taking a little bit bigger size here. It's just rangy. I added a little bit more here. I'm in with 250 shares now.
Big downturn there.
S&P's bouncing a little bit here. It looks good. Probably worse for me though. I anticipate a rejection here maybe. but it's just swingy. I'm out. S&P 500 squeezing up too big. Kept it very small, $19. The S&P 500 is breaking over that previous close, and that's usually going to drag everything else up with it. So with that, I'm out.
Yeah, that 1 cent stopped me out of the good trade there in RAD. It's breaking out now. There's not many times where I get faked out of a trade and it does go in my direction, but this would be one of those. RAD got me out there. Probably shouldn't have set a stop, an actual physical stop, but that's how it happens sometimes. Now up there to 12/16s, we'd be in the green. Just got to stick to it. Look for another trade. Can't really take that trade now. But RAD moving up there now to 12/20s.
I've been using the VWAP mostly, but I'm just scalping. And to put it into perspective, guys, I have had one loss previously this week, but in the last like 3 weeks, I had like 2 losing days, maybe. I think about 2 losing days, and so been going especially well. Every day's not going to be green, and so if it's your first time here, and you think that whatever, the reality is, like I said, this is like my 2nd losing day. If I end today red, which is still, I'm down $19. But like I said, 2nd losing day maybe in 3 weeks. Big push up in the SPY though. I'm gonna wait for it to really break out of this range, which means it needs to break 25.33s for the SPY. Yeah, 100% Patel, just sideways, man. I mean, it's kind of bullish, but the trend, especially in the last 20 minutes, is sideways.
Watch oil. The market's being led by oil.
Oil's down.
It's holding it down though. It's starting to create a support there. I can tell you that right now. So if you see a swing back here, a big swing back, that's when I would actually look for it. There's RAD up there now to the 1225 area, pushing up to the resistance, which is 1225.
There's the SPY trying to break out of that range again here.
Yep. Gosh, starting to move up there. I'm gonna look for another bottom to be created. Triple bottom on the oil is what I'm looking for. One that's interesting, Carnival is actually moving up today.
You sick, Justin? You alright, bro? Yeah, SPY's back down to test the previous closing price, and at this point, we're just chopping over and under it.
100% chop fest.
triple bottom is when a support hits the same exact spot 3 times. So like it hits $4, moves back up, pulls back down, bounces at $4, moves back up, pulls back down, bounces at $4. So it has a triple bottom at the same level. I'm looking at a 1-minute chart, Kenny, mostly. That's what I usually use, at least. SPY back above the previous close. I'm just waiting for it to break out of this range before I really do anything else here. Because like it's just been sitting, consolidating in this range for I don't know how long now. Catch back up in the chat. What's up, team?
Seeing retail come back here. I'm trying to think if I'm gonna log into one of them. Chewy might fake out fade. I'm trying to keep an eye on it. Want to see if KSS holds here. These 41s comes back up, ripping through 1150s. That can risk off that 1140. Would also want to see this urban come spiking back up through the 1310s.
All right, I'm in short with MU. We're gonna see if we can break underneath it. I'll put my screen up real quick. Holding 200 cheers here. Ideally, I'd like to see MU break under this previous close right here. That's really what I wanted. Here's the previous close at 09. That's the level it's got to break. SPY's looking weak. Big drop. Or big bounce, big rebound. Alright, there we go. Kind of retrace that rebound a little bit. I'm going to take half off there and then hold this last little bit. See if we get a breakdown underneath it now. There's the break. Nice. Might be able to take another half here, and then I'm going to let the last little bit work, see if we get a whole $1.41 break. We bounce above the previous close. I'm just going to exit this position. There's 49 break, exactly where our 41 break. Nice. Let's see if we hold underneath it now. Maybe I should have sold into that strength, but the market's dropping with us, so that's usually pretty good. I'm gonna get out there. Still a small day for me. Roughly $30 day. Maybe if the spot bounces a little bit, I'll short back into some of these moves. Like, I don't mind shorting into that previous closing price, anticipating that it's gonna reject there. We'll see though. Up 27 on the day. Here's my P&L if you want to see it. I'm just kind of trading MU mostly. I don't hate shorting into MU here. I don't know if I want to do it, but this is effectively shorting into the previous closing price, and I could use that 41.13 level as my risk and anticipate the market's going to get hit here. I don't hate it. I'm going to do it. Alright, I just took 200 shares. We'll see. Going to be very tight with this 200 shares. And I mean, it's kind of a break-even day. Squeezed out. That's alright. Yeah, I was just looking at this previous close, but I don't think anything's really been respecting that too much today. Oof, look at AMD. Maybe AMD was the one to take. Look at that low of the day break at AMD. Market's absolutely getting hammered here. Maybe I'll get another chance with this volatility. Market's about to break lows. I'm definitely going to short into some stuff when that happens. I'm going to scale up the size when I do that though. Weird, MU's pushing up in that weakness. S&P 500 about to break lows of the day. I think it might have already. No, it's actually right there now. So the S&P 500 is about to break lows here.
All right, I might take a fake out fade here and Chewy.
I'm waiting for the market to break because I don't want to get faked out if the market bounces at that previous low, and so I'm waiting here. There's the low break though. Previous low of the day, it's right there. Right there. Alright. At this point, it's essentially betting on whether the market's going to stay sideways or actually pick a downward trend here. S&P 500 is like right at the previous closing price now. It's actually pushing up a little bit. SPY too. So yeah, this is why I'm waiting. So if we do get a bounce here, I don't get stuck in it. If you're confused, study up. Don't just trade, you know. We still got 320 people in here, guys. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We got 96 likes. We need 4 little baby likes. Hit that like button, guys. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We do this for free every day. All right, we break 25.11s for the S&P. I'm gonna short into that. SPY breaking lows too. I don't mind shorting into that either. I just don't want to get faked out here. It looks like here's the break. All right, I'm in. Shorting into this. What am I in with 200 shares? All right, I'm gonna sell half there. No, wait, I got a buy to cover. All right, man, I missed it. I wasn't fast enough. I hit the wrong button. I tried to click sell instead of buy. I'm still on 100 though, and I made a little bit. Here's the next move. I'm gonna take another half off here and then just hold these 50 shares, see if we get a bigger breakdown. But yeah, that's what I was waiting for here. Is just the SPY to break down. I can jump into that volatility and scalp that quick move when, you know, if I have a stock that's roughly in the middle range like MU was, I could just scalp that move down. See how far the SPY goes here. See how quick it'll drag it down. Hey, I appreciate the subs, guys. Welcome. I appreciate it.
Oil moving down there could lead the market down here.
I might just get out the rest here, take my little win. I'm out. SPY might reject here at that previous closing price, or that previous low of the day. So like if the SPY bounces to that previous low of the day, I might short back into it, but I'm gonna wait for that move to happen.
All right, starting to like this Chewy a lot more. It keeps trying to break down, but the fake out fade. So I've been really trying to see it break down through the VWAP, not just hold VWAP every time. Got to be patient with this one.
SPY's pulling back to test that previous low of the day. Should be an interesting level here to see if it rejects or bounces there.
Oil bouncing a tiny bit.
S&P 500 and the SPY bouncing back to test that previous low of the day that it just broke under. We'll see what happens here. It's that opening range low too, so we'll see.
All right, seeing oil push back there a significant amount. Push back there about 40 cents there. Found the bottom there.
So Tiny, a fake out fade is when, so it's a fade, but it's a fade. So basically I'll try to draw it out. This is what it is. I got a few good videos on it actually, but this is what it essentially is right here. Let me try to find one. Okay, here's one on AMD. So a fake out fade is when a stock puts in a high up there. So like you see, it's below the VWAP. It pushes up like it's gonna fake out like a regular VWAP fade, right? So it pushes up like it's gonna fake it out. Let me remove this closing price. So it pulls up like it's going to fake out a regular fade. Like if you jumped in short, it looks like it's going to fake out, but instead it quickly pulls back down below the VWAP and then bounces back, and that's where you're going to short into. It's a super profitable strategy, but you're going to short into this type of bounce right here, so where it pushes up above the VWAP, pulls back below it looking really weak, and then bounces back, and you can use this level up here as your risk level. Like you can use this here as your risk, get in here, give yourself a big reward target, and take advantage of good risk reward. But this obvious weakness right here is what it is. I have, like I said, I have a bunch of videos on it. I'll post one for you if you want to check it out. Let me see. Here's one. Yeah, it works well. Yeah, and like when I did it, like I noticed I was getting faked out a ton with fades. Like I would get faked out a bunch with VWAP fades, right? And what I noticed is that when the SPY would actually, or when the stock would actually squeeze up and fake out a regular fade, and then quickly get rejected and come all the way back down below the VWAP, that showed so much weakness that shorting into a small little pop there made a lot of sense, and it was just really high percentage. Worked really, really well. All right, so here's the rejection at that previous low of the day for the S&P.
There you go, guys. Good first move there. At least good first move there.
Hey, thank you. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
There you go. 74 is rolling through there. Looks like we can come down to 33.50s. An impressive one holding that could break down big. APT. It keeps holding above VWAP. Look at the 5-minute chart. It's a big pennant on there, and it's holding really well 16. But I think if it breaks that down, you could see a big drop towards 15.33.
Interesting.
It's a long-term hold there on APT. It's been holding since the open.
All right, MU. I'm in small position short on MU, but the SPY's breaking down. I'm holding this in anticipation of the SPY maybe cracking that previous low again, and if it does that, I should be able to get in and out really quick, and if it squeezes up, it'll be all right. It's going to be small. I'm going to just use that previous close as my risk here for this one. There we go. Let's see if we get a break here again. SPY testing that previous low of the day.
I'm liking this bounce up.
I just took half off for MU. Gonna let the rest roll here under that low of the day if we can get it. Still holding 100 shares. Ooh, big squeeze up. Might get squeezed out here. Yeah, I'm gonna get out there. That's too big of a squeeze. Kept it pretty tight. Lost like $7 on that one, but just a very quick bounce in MU. And it might fake me out there, but it's all right. There'll be other plays. Hey, I'm not gonna. I don't know, man. Reach out to Robinhood, bro. If it's your dad's bank, I'm not, you know, my hands are off, dude. I ain't telling you what to do. if that's your dad's account, bro, I'm not touching it, dude. I don't, you know, ask your bank, ask Robinhood, you know, not me. I don't know.
Big volume coming in UAL. So big, it's matching the 1 minute candle from the open. Big volume getting put in these airlines. Man, these airlines are getting down there, man. I'm telling you. I'm gonna be trying to scoop. I'm gonna try to scoop one of them, without a doubt, because it's just the risk and reward is gonna start looking really good.
Right.
But my idea, AAL, I have actually UAL on my shopping cart, and the two prices I'm looking at is $15.50 and $5.50. So I can get an average in between $10.50, and that would look really nice, I think, on the chart.
Sorry, Mitch. I'm nailing this trade on MU. Got 300 shares left, I think, and writing this one down. Gonna take 200 shares off probably right here. And I'm gonna hold this last little 100 shares to see if we can get a further breakdown maybe down to 40.75 is where I'm gonna use it. Any push over the whole dollar of 41, I'll get out. But that's my plan. Sorry, go ahead, Mitch.
No, you're good, bro. No stress. Mine's dropping too. Definitely market took a little bit of a dip there.
Yeah, market broke lows. Those are my favorite. Lately, those are my favorite plays, right? When the market just gets that big momentum surge down on a low of the day break. I could usually just short into like MU or AMD, right? And it'll usually at least follow through for like 10 or 15 cents, right? And so it's been a really profitable way to approach those.
Yeah, momentum push.
Yep. I'll try to put both of those up. There we go. Maybe I'll hold the rest of this.
At least that's the fake out fade. Whether it continues down, that's the fake out fade.
Yeah.
John would probably take it more when it actually breaks the VWAP. I know John usually waits for that.
Yeah, I like it. I like it when it gets a huge red candle just rejecting the VWAP. Like that's really kind of how I initially saw it, was when it breaks below the VWAP. But the good thing about trading is that you can kind of take different strategies and morph them and make them your own. And that's when you really start to come to your own. You know, so like Mitch has taken it and made it his own. Really, Mitch is the one that came up with the VWAP fade overall in general. And so I've kind of developed my own methods of it with the fake out fade, and then he's developed his own version of the fake out fade. And so it's kind of like Mitch and I kind of got together, but it was really Mitch's idea for the fade at first when we first got started. But like I said, as you mature as a trader, you kind of make strategies your own, and that's how you really know you're growing as a trader, because you'll spot little nuances about them that you like. So
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, this game's always about edge, and you got to be always looking. If you see something, it doesn't mean trade it. Sometimes even just test it. Right. Even just tell yourself, hey, all right, I seen this today. All right, let me look for it tomorrow. Let me look for it on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. See how it starts playing out through a whole week, not just necessarily one day. But if I'm seeing something that I see continuously happen, there's nothing wrong with starting to back test it, looking at other charts. Then you can start to trade it.
Right, for sure. All right, I'm probably about to get out of mine. I'm not going to give it too much more room. Well, maybe so. If we get some more drops, it just depends on, really this is, okay, so the SPY actually is pulling down to test lows again. This should actually drag mine down enough to where I can hold on to it a little bit. SPY and S&P pushing down to break lows, and there's the subsequent drops. And so, there we go. We'll see if we can get a larger breakdown. I wouldn't mind, if this can get up to, unrealized, 13 or 14 bucks, I wouldn't mind taking another half off and really letting the last little 50 shares work for me and not being super strict with it. Alright, there's an immediate bounce back up. I'm going to get out there. So, up 86 on the day, $135 on MU alone. So, not too bad. Let's see if we can break that $100 mark.
Alright, guys, I just added a little bit there. at VWAP. Let's see if we come right back down towards the low.
How do I day trade? Oh wait, here, let me put Mitch up larger here.
Let's see how I do here. It's definitely getting tight, so gotta stick with it.
There we go. Alright, I don't know, Charlie. I'm not a Robin Hood man. I'm not used to using it, brother. So you gotta ask them, dude. But yeah, so somebody's asking how can I day trade. So there's a few different ways you can use a U.S. regulated platform, right? But that's going to entail only being able to day trade 3 times per rolling 5-day period, right? You can only trade 3 times a week, which is pretty limiting. Or you can use the platform we're using, and basically the way it works is it's an educational package, and so comes with a course and a demo account, paper account to trade with for a few weeks, access to their chat room for a few weeks, and then you get to apply. And as long as you haven't had more than 2 intro accounts, you're going to get approved for $14,000 in buying power to trade with, and you basically become a contractor for them. Just to preface all of this, it's better to ask them these things. I'm just going by speculation mostly, but there we go. There's a nice drop, Mitch. That looks good. Anyways, once you're approved, you spend $3.99 on the package, and it's an educational package. But once you're approved, you get $14,000 to trade with, and there's no PDT rule. So you get a decent amount of buying power. You can actively day trade. There's no PDT rule, and you can short stocks for $3.99. The difference, though, and the catch a little bit, is that there's a 70-30 profit split. And so they're going to keep 30% of your profits. If you turn that $14,000 into $15,000, they're going to keep $300 of that, and you're going to keep the $700, There's also a $700 max loss, which actually isn't that bad in the grand scheme of things because you're paying $3.99 to be able to lose $700. And so it's good risk-reward in trading terms. The flaws of them are that there's not that many penny stocks to trade, and so if you're looking to trade penny stocks, you're not going to find that many available to trade on there. At the same time, though, I think it's probably better if a new trader doesn't trade penny stocks. I think they're the lower percentage play, they're much more risky, and the only reason you see a lot of penny stock courses and gurus out there is because they're front loading on the positions, and it's easy to flash a huge percentage gain to new traders. Now, I'm not saying you can't make money, and we have some people here that trade penny stocks and make money. I just think it's much more difficult, and for a new trader, they need to find something they can test. And so with all that said, we post referral links for them, and so naturally we're biased in their favor. But if you want to help support our channel and use the same platform with no PDT rule for $400, you can get the intro package, and there's different packages as well. There's the link in the chat. No, I don't have a Snapchat. Yeah, I'm married, Not much use for deleting pictures in Snapchat, Also, like I am saying in chat, if you want to use the same scanners that we're using, you can use promo code BT15. So if you want the real-time, up-to-date scanners, super customizable, super dynamic scans, allow you to do a lot of cool stuff with them. And so you can use promo code BT15 and get 15% off at Trade Ideas. And like I said, I have to make a video on it, but, you can just update a lot of stuff. You can change strategies, build strategies. Like I have a VWAP Fade scanner that I built on Trade Ideas, and just a really customizable and easy-to-use scanners. And so again, you can use promo code BT15, get 15% off. Great. Both of these are great ways to help support our channel, aside from just clicking the like and subscribe button. Alright, market cracking back down below the lows here. Looks good.
Yeah, I'm in the one stock that hasn't wanted to break down here, so just be careful, guys, if you're in my stock. APT looking really strong there, guys. Now starting to push up. I called that one out that it was holding. It held, found a buyer. 400,000 shares went through there at the 1620, 1615 area. Now it's up there to 17 immediately. Okay, On the 5-minute chart, oil just put in a real kind of reversal sign. So let's see if it can start boosting back here. Really not liking how this one's holding here, but just got to stick to the trade now that I'm in it. Keeps holding really well here. Not liking that too much. Could pop up with any buyer. Just waiting.
All right, market cracking lows here. That should help. What is Chewy?
Dog food.
Okay.
Subscription model. It's doing really well actually, but sometimes, a lot of times when I've been seeing these good numbers come out, the next day you get a big pullback and then the rip comes afterwards. But we'll see. Their earnings came out today, so
Big squeeze up in MU real quick, but the market looks like it might break lows here.
just waiting, guys. I have to wait. I have to stick to the trade now. A lot of times you get in these indecision moments in trading, and it's not time to make a new decision. I always try to just stick to the original plan.
Yeah, I feel you.
Hopefully she's a lagger and she wants to take off a little bit later. My biggest thing is oil starting to find the bottom there. Don't want to see it surge the market back.
Hold on, guys.
It's not looking good. Looking like it wants to pop, but we'll give it a chance. That's all you can do. How we doing, guys? How we doing, traders? How's your day going? If you're new to the channel, definitely hit the like, definitely hit the subscribe. We do this every single day, showing you our positions, our entries, our account manager, a lot of what most don't. So definitely hit the subscribe button. Guys, hit the like. This is what we do every day.
Sorry guys, my wife her eyes are all puffy. I think that's a good thing because it means it's allergies. But my wife was saying it's kind of messing with her. She doesn't feel good, so I'm hoping it's just allergies. You know?
All right, gonna give this one more second, and then I'm gonna take 100 off, a third off. Trying to get 60 at least. There you go. All right, guys, just took 100 off at 46 there. Immediately with the momentum, I just took it off.
Yeah, good trade, brother.
Now, no matter what, we can't let it go past our entry because we're at 3-1. This is what I talked about yesterday. It's okay to hold past your reward level, but it's not okay to let it go into a loser after that. All right, if we crack 40s here, head down towards the 30s, we'll take another 100 off. We would like to see that resistance hold now at 68. Next level down, I'm seeing the 30s, 35s.
No, I'm sure
All right.
it's just allergies. Usually when her eyes are puffy, it's allergies. Sorry, Mitch, go ahead.
Nah, you're good. Just watching this 68, guys, because I really don't want to see big orders fill here. Because it can immediately come back, and that's not what we want here.
Spot pulling back a little bit.
Car just made a big up candle. Watch to see reversals coming. Reason why I think it might come is oil starting to come back here, guys. So we got to be careful here now. All right, there's some down move. Anything above 68s, we're getting out now. It should continue the momentum through the support. Not seeing that continue momentum. Let's see if we get it here.
Alright, I'm nailing a little bit on MU here. Trying to scalp this move under this low at 75. It looks like it's bouncing there. I'm going to take another half off and just hold 100 shares here for now. 80s. Let's see if we can crack under 75. I might take a little bit more off if we do. Let me try to put both of us up real quick so you can watch.
63s.
There we go. Let's see if we get that crack at the low of the day is what I really want here. You know what? I don't mind taking another half and really just letting the last little bit work if we get a big breakdown here. There's 75s. I went under the low of the day at 75. There's the break. Nice.
Alright guys, so I want this to just sweep through the 35s. 70s. You'll see it pop up getting out.
Sorry. So yeah, $130 day roughly. Not a bad day. Let's see what else we get. Been pretty accurate. Accuracy's been on point.
Retail making a push back. I think it's going to be a big thing is oil. I'm watching Gush. It created a big bottom there at 1620. Now it's back up to 1680s. If you look at it on the 15-minute, we have a big green candle now at 16. The bottom of that one is at 1640s. So if it pulls back and holds that, I would be looking for oil to start making its way back.
Yeah, I'm not much of a drinker. Who's talking about the Cosmic?
It used to be.
Well, I'll drink a little bit of scotch, you know, and some beer. But but not very often. Special occasions, you know. But not very often. You know what I mean?
I'm a bourbon man.
Yeah, hey, I like some bourbon too, you know. When I drink, like, point is, like, I don't drink mixed drinks very much. Like, I prefer either, like, straight scotch, just because it's, like, an experience, and then, like, beer, which is mostly just social drinking for me.
My boy. That experience.
Yeah, you know, hang out, drink a glass of scotch.
Can't blame you, man.
Act snooty for like 30 minutes, you know what I mean?
Alright guys, let's get into that dangerous part to stick to my levels. Good rejection for me there.
Let me put Mitch up. So yeah, $130 day. I think with that I'm done, guys. I'll put Mitch up.
I'm just gonna stick to that level.
My wife's needing my help a little bit.
There you go, down to the 30s here, guys.
Yeah, it's looking good, bro.
We're gonna take 100 as the momentum breaks down here.
Nah, no wines for me, bro. I'm not a wine drinker, man. Yeah. Wine's probably the best alcohol to drink, though, because it's not terrible for you, you know?
Alright guys, not seeing the continued momentum, taking 100 off there. Reason why is it slowed up there. I didn't want to see a quick bounce there at the support. So since it touched the support, I'll take some off there. At least give myself $50 realized. Put myself in the green for the day, and now just let it work. Instead of going for the home run, there's no need for it. Let's just stick to getting into the green and ending the day positive. Ending the week positive. You know, I've been battling in this account. You know, today I started at 14, so don't really want to push back. Push forward. Push forward, guys. Let's keep pushing forward. Let's keep building profits. Let's not try to make home runs. Let's try to make base hits.
I know John drinking them 5,000 bottles of wine. Nah, man, I'm not much of a drinker, you know.
Nah, I can't do it anymore. College days. Give me an 18 pack.
Yeah, college, it would be different. But with me, it's like my kids get up at like 6 a.m. no matter what. It's 7 a.m. now. But like my kids are up early regardless. They're a natural alarm clock. And so in order to not be like a jerk parent, if I drank at night, I would almost certainly wake up and just be a jerk to my kids. And like, I don't want that, man. I'm actually a morning person. I like waking up in the morning. If you guys hear me, I'm like super energetic in the morning because like I like mornings. And that's another reason why I don't drink is because I like my morning. It's pleasant. I don't want a hangover.
All right, guys, gonna set a stop at 90s and let her work. If you guys want to go ahead and check out the platform that John and I use on these streams, definitely go ahead and check out TradeNet. This is what you guys see me using here. One of the great things that you guys saw me doing today is trade long and short. This is really one of my favorite things about TradeNet. So TradeNet is a solid, high-quality platform and package with funded account programs. The intro, you guys see me trading, it has no PDT. You know, you get to trade as much as you want. It gives you an ability to have cheap commissions, short stocks, plus get access to the chat room. You get the trading course and demo account to practice. What we really recommend TradeNet is for the beginner. This is for you guys to go ahead and start your process, build it up, start making profits. Once you see that you can make tons of profits, then yeah, go for it. We recommend getting that American account, shooting big. But at the end of the day, TradeNet definitely helps you out and gives you the advantages that you need as a beginner trader to get to your next level. So if you guys are trying to get to that next level, definitely check out TradeNet. It definitely could help you get there.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'll post that link if anybody wants to check it out. Cheap way to get started. I actually agree with what Big Baller was saying. He said,
Yep.
no new trader should be trading with a $25,000 account. You know, the reason why is because you don't know what you're doing, you don't understand risk management, and you will probably lose whatever size your first account is. And so if your first account's a $25,000 account, you're probably going to lose a $25,000 account. That's going to be especially damaging to you and super upsetting and you know, soul crushing. But if you make your first account a small account and just have the plan to gain experience, I think that makes a lot more sense. You're risking less, and that's why I think TradeNet's a good option too. Yeah, drunk traders. We should make a channel. That's a channel idea. Drunk traders. You know. But yeah, Angel. I'm over 30, bro. He says, damn, you look too young. Yeah, I'm over 30.
Yeah, guys, I'm going to be watching oil on an hourly now. Instead of watching it on a quick chart, I'm watching it on an hourly. Reason why? I need to see big movement for me to even think that oil's getting bullish. There is a meeting today. There is a meeting. Someone brought it up in the chat. We talked about it yesterday. There is a meeting today, so something could happen in the afternoon.
Yeah, I'll probably close it down now. It's about 10 o'clock. You know, we'll be back tomorrow. Or no, wait, tomorrow's the weekend. We'll have a few videos we'll put out tomorrow, guys. And so hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We got a great amount of likes today, so I appreciate the love. We got 130 beautiful likes. Thank you, guys. We're slowly pushing towards 20,000 subscribers. We recently broke 19,000, and we're getting pretty close to 20,000. We just got to keep pushing here. We're at about 19.2 thousand. You know, we're growing by over 1,000 subscribers a month, and you know, feels good, man. Feels good. Appreciate the love, guys. Hit that subscribe and like button. But yeah,
no, definitely. Ray brings up an important point. At the end of the day, guys, you know, you don't need to put that much money at risk if you're not making that much money. If you were making 25 grand in a month, then I'd say, yeah, why not put 25 grand at risk, you know? But that's what you really need to also understand. You know, your account needs to be kind of measured also to your wins and losses. You know, you have a $30,000 account, but you're taking $5,000 losses, only making 1,000 when you win. This is really not a winning approach. It never will be. Right. So one of the things is we tell you to get the approach down before you try to make those Lamborghini gains, as I call them.
Yeah, it's funny, man. It's like you get people that hate on TradeNet, and you know what I mean? Like, they hate on TradeNet, and it's like, I get it, but it's like, what's the other option, man? Like, what are your other options? Like, you know, none of the other places are better. Like, they're all, you know, most no PDT platforms are a little sketchy. TradeNet, at least they're actually doing stuff. It comes with the course. I think TradeNet's the best deal out there. And it's a cheap way to get started as a new trader. But it's like most of the time people just dislike TradeNet because they lose their account. they can't handle it, and so they end up blaming their platform because they took a bunch of dumb trades. And like that's very common. A lot of the time you'll see people hate on me. Like here's a funny thing, like I had a dude, I put up my my freelance website, and it's like I had a dude, that dude Otrep, that dude is still obsessing over this channel. I like he was like, your website sucks, as soon as I posted it the other day. And I want to be like, dude, how does it feel to obsess and be so insecure about like a random YouTube channel, and like to obsess so much that like you hang around and watch their channel silently waiting for stuff to criticize? Like you got to be pretty down on your luck to be like that, man. And so I guess it just comes with running something and building something cool, you know. Like I said, in the end it's just gonna have to suck more for them because we're just gonna keep growing. Feels good, man. We're over 1,000 subs a month. Appreciate the love, guys. All the love we've got, all the support we've got in the last few weeks and months. I really appreciate it. And yeah, with that said, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and close it down. Mitch got to stop up. And,
I'll let you guys know what I get.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, have a good day. We'll see you guys this weekend. We'll put a few videos out. And yeah, have a good day, guys. Good luck. We'll see you guys
Have a
next
good one,
time.
guys. It's always great to see everyone in the chat. Don't forget, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit that bell when you see us go on. Later, guys. That's super delayed today.